The Jared Dillian Show.
I'm Jared Dillian. This is the Jared Dillian Show. If you want to call to talk about your money, please call 844-305-7800. That's 844-305-7800. This is the Jared Dillian Show. The post office is in bad shape. I assumed that, but I didn't realize the extent of it until now. After losing $78 billion since 2007, amid a decline in mail volume coupled with soaring pension costs, the United States Postal Service's business model is not financially sustainable, a government audit has concluded. In a scathing report, the GAO calls on Congress to reevaluate all aspects of the Postal Service's operations, from how often Americans receive their mail to whether the USPS should be restructured to receive annual infusions of taxpayer dollars. Absent congressional action on critical foundation elements of the USPS business model, their mission and financial solvency are increasingly in peril. Due to the sharp drop in mail volume during the COVID-19 pandemic, the Postal Service expects to lose as much as $13 billion this year. President Donald Trump has been unwilling to bail out the Postal Service without reforms. Asked about it at a press conference last month, Trump said the agency should raise the prices by a lot. Then you'd find out that the post office could make money or break even. I was not aware of this. I'm not going to address this on the show, whether we should have the Postal Service or not. I guess I don't have an opinion. I mean, the libertarian in me would say, no, but I don't know. I mean, FedEx is expensive. I don't know. I don't know the answer to this. During the quarantine, we are really noticing that we are spending a lot less money. Lunch today. What did I have for lunch? I can't even remember. I had a can of beans. I had a can of baked beans. It probably cost like $1.50. And, I was saying to my wife, we could have gone out and spent $40 on lunch. That's what we would have done in the past. We would have gone out and spent $40 on lunch, and we wouldn't have thought anything of it. And yeah, so I said that we were probably spending in the past. We were probably spending $150 going out each week. And that does not even include my lunches. That's $200 a week. That's $800 a month. That's $10,000 a year. Not spending any of this. For the last week, I've either had a can of beans or a can of soup for lunch. I'm going to have a salad for dinner. We have been saving a ridiculous amount of money. People's consumption patterns have been permanently altered. Was talking to my mom today. She's like, yeah, like I haven't been to a department store in forever. She's like, I don't even want to go. I don't need anything. And people are coming to the same conclusion. We don't really need this stuff. And this is going to impact GDP for a long time. So we ordered a pizza the other day, $20. That's like the most money we've spent during the shutdown. So I've done a little bit of shopping on. I've actually been pretty busy with Amazon because we need stuff for the house. I've done a little bit of shopping online, but my consumption is way, way down. Everybody's spending is way, way down. And this is the good news. And we saw the savings rate go from 8% to 13%. The savings rate went from 8% to 13%. I think people are learning how to save money here. Something else I saw earlier in the show I forgot to mention, that consumer credit balances dropped $27 billion in a month. So what basically people are doing is they're paying down debt. Now, I don't know if they're paying down debt with the stimulus checks or if they still have income and they're paying down debt. But people, this is revolving credit. People are paying down their credit card bills, and it is awesome. It is an amazing thing. And when things get better, I don't think they're going to go back. Consumption is going to be way down, and it's going to take a long time for the economy to recover. I mean, the checks, the stimulus checks, the bailout checks, $1,200, that doesn't really do a whole lot. I would have made the argument that the checks to individuals should have been much bigger, and the checks to corporations should have been much smaller. But I'm liking this spending less thing. I've never been a big spender, but yeah, we were spending stupid money before. I mean, not a lot, but like we were just spending money on stuff we didn't need. And back then things were good. And right now things are not so good. Sometimes when I talk on here about saving money, I feel like I'm being pedantic because people know how to save money. They know how to do it. But the amazing thing about this coronavirus crisis is that people are being taught how to do it. People are being taught how to do it, and they're making good habits. They had bad habits before, and they're starting to make good habits, and it's absolutely an amazing thing. Like I said, $27 billion drop in revolving credit balances. People are paying down their credit cards. This is the best thing that's happened since sliced bread. If you're a personal finance guy like me, then you love this stuff. This is absolutely fantastic. You eat out less, you buy less clothes, you buy less crap. But one of the things I want you to think about is your cost of carry, okay? And your cost, because it's really not about, it's less about consumption than you think. I mean, yes, we're saving money, not going to the store, not ordering lunch, stuff like that. But that doesn't really move the needle. We have to look at the cost of carry. What are the fixed charges that you have to make every month? Well, you have to pay the mortgage. How much is your mortgage? $1,500 a month? $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $4,000 a month. You got $500 going out the door in a car loan payment. You got credit card bills. Student loans are really the big one. You also have subscriptions. You have Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all that stuff. If you have a pool, you have to pay for pool service. They put chemicals in the pool. They clean the pool. You got housekeeper, nanny, you have help around the house, you have a landscaping company. I mean, all of this stuff. This is your cost of carry. These are the fixed charges that are going out the door every month. And your cost of carry is very important because this dictates how much you will be able to save. This dictates how much you will be able to save because you have to pay this stuff all first, and then you have whatever left over. So a good exercise is to add up all your fixed charges and look at what that monthly total is. And everything after that is discretionary. And oftentimes the fixed charges are very large and the discretionary payments are not that big. If your monthly nut is $4,000 a month, how are you going to cover $4,000 a month if you don't have an income coming in? And this is where emergency funds come in. If you have 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund, you have $24,000. That would cover you in the event that you lose your income because of coronavirus or something else, and you are stuck at home and you don't have an income and you have to cover these fixed charges. How many people have $24,000 in the bank? Plus I left out food. That's also like, just going to the grocery store, that's $150 a week, $600 a month. I left out food, so the $24,000 is probably a little bit low, but you get the picture. People do not have a good handle on what their cost of carry is. I worked with a bunch of Wall Street guys who got really expensive houses, really expensive cars, and they had this enormous cost of carry. And then what happened is that business started going bad and they started getting paid less. And remember, the house determines everything. The house determines your spending. If you live in a fancy house, you are going to have a fancy car. You are going to have fancy expenses. So go do the math. Figure out what your cost of carry is. Figure out what 6 months of expenses looks like. And keep that in cash in a separate account. A few months ago, you had idiots telling you to invest your emergency funds. You don't hear from those people much nowadays. See you next time. I'm Jared Dillian. This is The Jared Dillian Show.
The Jared Dillian Show.